Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive into a whirlwind of emotional twists, financial pleas, and heartbreaking family revelations that are shaking up Port Charles like never before. In the cozy confines of Bobby's Diner, a pivotal mother-daughter moment unfolds between Lulu Spencer and her spirited offspring, Charlotte Casadini. Lulu, ever the protective parent, offers some heartfelt travel advice that's more than just packing tips. It's about navigating the treacherous waters of family loyalty. After much soul-searching, influenced by a persuasive pitch from Jack Brennan, Lulu has warmed to the idea of Charlotte visiting her elusive father, Valentin Casadini, at the distant Steinmauer facility. Imagine the tension. Lulu assures Charlotte that if she chooses to embark on this journey, her mom will be right by her side every step of the way, providing a shield of unwavering support. This decision didn't come lightly. Lulu had received wise counsel from two trusted voices warning that barring Charlotte from any contact with Valentin could breed deep-seated resentment down the line. Taking this to heart, Lulu empowers her daughter to make the call, essentially letting Charlotte hold the reins on this high-stakes family reunion. It's a bold move that highlights Lulu's growth as a parent, blending caution with compassion in a town where secrets often explode into chaos. Adding to the intrigue, whispers around Port Charles suggest Charlotte might uncover hidden family artifacts during the trip, like old letters or mementos that could reshape her understanding of Valentin's complicated past, making this adventure not just a visit, but a potential gateway to long-buried truths. Shifting gears to a lighter yet equally compelling subplot, young Joe Palmieri finds himself in a bind, desperately pitching for a hefty sum of cash that he believes he's earned fair and square. The reason? His clever discovery of Outback, the adorable stray dog who's now cosily settled into the Quartermain stables, under the watchful eye of Cody Bell. Unbeknownst to Cody, who seems blissfully ignorant of the pup's true origins, Joe has been proactive, printing and scattering flyers all over town in hopes of reuniting Outback with his rightful owner. But Gio's entrepreneurial spirit shines through as he views this as an opportunity for a reward substantial enough to fund his dreams. Perhaps a new musical instrument or even startup funds for a small venture in Port Charles. During a casual chat at the Brown Dog Bar with his friend Emma Scorpio Drake, Joe toyed with the idea of approaching his grandfather for the dough, quickly dismissing Emma's suggestion to tap Tracy Quartermain due to her notoriously tough demeanor. Now, the big question looms: will Sonny Corinthos, with his deep pockets and family ties, step up and grant Gio's request if the young man musters the courage to ask? This scenario adds a layer of youthful ambition to the mix, as Joe navigates the complexities of family dynamics and self-reliance, potentially learning valuable lessons about negotiation and persistence in a world where money talks, but relationships matter more. Inventing a fresh twist. Perhaps Joe envisions using part of the reward to organize a community pet adoption event, turning his good deed into a broader act of kindness that could win over even the skeptics in town. Meanwhile, tensions simmer within the extended family circle as Dante Falconeri opens up to his sister, Christina Corinthos Davis, in what appears to be a candid strategy session. Dante, wearing his heart on his sleeve, expresses his willingness to hear out any ideas Christina might have, his tone laced with a mix of frustration and hope. The root of his turmoil? The shocking resurgence of Britt Westburn in Port Charles, courtesy of Jason Morgan's unexpected intervention. Dante's earlier venting session with Cody at the stables revealed his deepest fears, that Britt's presence could become a permanent fixture, complicating lives and possibly forging an unwanted bond with his son, Rocco Falconeri. Lulu shares similar apprehensions, worrying that Rocco might get emotionally attached only to face heartbreak if things go south. Christina, always the empathetic sibling, listens intently, her receptive demeanor suggesting she might brainstorm clever ways to mitigate the fallout, perhaps legal consultations or family mediations to keep boundaries intact. This interaction underscores the intricate web of alliances in Port Charles, where past grudges can resurface like ghosts, forcing characters to confront unresolved issues head-on. To deepen the narrative, one could imagine Christina drawing from her own experiences with loss and redemption, offering Dante a personalized plan that involves subtle surveillance or heartfelt conversations to protect Rocco's innocence amid the adult drama. Over at the stables, a charming scene plays out between Molly Lansing Davis and Cody Bell, where Molly reassures him that his little secret is safe in her hands. What secret, you ask? It seems tied to the endearing beagle Outback, whom Cody has unwittingly adopted as his new furry companion. Oblivious to the dog's missing status and Gio's search efforts, Molly's cheerful expression hints at pure delight rather than anything sinister. She's clearly smitten by Outback's irresistible charm, especially after the pup's cheeky theft of Cody's lunch, which Cody forgave with good humor. This light-hearted exchange showcases Cody's softer side, transforming a potential mishap into a moment of bonding and forgiveness. Expanding on this, perhaps Molly shares anecdotes from her own pet-loving past, suggesting ways Cody could train Outback or even enter him in a local dog show, adding whimsical details that highlight the joy pets bring to the often tumultuous lives in Port Charles. It's a reminder that amid the scandals and schemes, simple pleasures like a loyal dog can ground even the most rugged characters. In a bold career pivot, Britt Westburn marches into General Hospital with determination, seeking to reclaim her place in the medical world, be it her former co-chief of staff role, or any position that'll get her back in scrubs. Since faking her death, that prestigious spot has been capably filled by Portia Robinson, leaving Britt to swallow her pride and accept whatever offer comes her way. Spoilers hint at a humbling proposition, possibly something far from the top tier, as her American medical license might have been revoked upon her demise. Though she managed lab work in Croatia without issue, her enthusiastic response, of course, she'll come back to work, suggests she's willing to start from the bottom, maybe even as an orderly or administrative aide, rebuilding her life one step at a time. This development adds depth to Britt's character arc, portraying her as resilient and adaptable, ready to atone for past deceptions while facing the consequences. Inventing new layers. Envision Britt encountering skeptical colleagues who quiz her on ethical dilemmas, or perhaps she volunteers for night shifts to prove her commitment, turning her return into a story of redemption and professional grit. Finally, the Quartermaine mansion becomes a scene of profound sorrow as the family grapples with the devastating loss of their beloved matriarch, Monica Quartermaine. Jason Morgan arrives bearing heavy news, initially tasked by Tracy Quartermaine to gently break the word of Drew Kane's shooting, a tragic event where Tracy spotted Michael Corinthos fleeing the scene before she discovered Drew wounded and summoned help. But fate intervenes cruelly. Jason, overcome with emotion, realizes he won't need to deliver that blow to Monica, because she has already passed away peacefully. Tracy, tears streaming down her face, reels in disbelief, questioning Jason repeatedly if he's absolutely certain, her voice trembling with grief. This bombshell sends shockwaves through the Quartermaine clan, forcing them to confront mortality, unfinished business, and the void left by Monica's guiding presence. To enrich this poignant moment, one might add imagined flashbacks of Monica's legendary feuds and tender family interventions, emphasizing her role as the emotional anchor who weathered countless storms. The family's shock could lead to impromptu gatherings where members share stories, blending mourning with subtle hints of inheritance intrigue that promise future conflicts. As Port Charles mourns, this loss reverberates, reminding everyone of the fragile threads holding their world together. Next, we will learn about the explosive confrontation that's got everyone talking. Nina Reeves finally standing her ground against Willow Tate in a moment that's reshaping fan opinions across the board. For what feels like an eternity, Nina Reeves has been the target of intense scrutiny from the General Hospital faithful, ever since that infamous Nixon Falls saga unfolded with all its twists and betrayals. Remember how she kept Sonny Corinthos hidden away, sparking endless debates about her morals and motivations? It turned her into Port Charles' most polarizing figure, with viewers quick to call out her every misstep. But oh, how the tides have turned. In a stunning reversal, Nina's recent bold move putting her daughter Willow firmly in her place has ignited a wave of admiration from fans who are now cheering her on like never before. It's as if Nina has shed her old skin, emerging as a fierce, unapologetic force who's no longer willing to play the villain in her own story. This shift didn't happen overnight. It's been building through layers of family tension, hidden secrets, and emotional roller coasters that have kept us all glued to our screens. Fans are buzzing about how this could signal a new era for Nina, one where she's not just surviving the drama, but owning it with style and sass. At the heart of this transformation is Willow Tate's ongoing struggle with accountability, a flaw that's become increasingly apparent in her tangled web of personal choices. Willow, with her wide-eyed innocence and stubborn streak, has a habit of letting others dictate her path, especially when it comes to Drew Kane, whose influence has led her down some questionable roads. Picture this: Willow's life is in shambles. riddled with regrets from decisions she made despite warnings from every corner of Port Charles. Yet, instead of owning up to her role in the chaos, she deflects, pointing fingers at anyone but herself. This pattern reached a boiling point when Willow discovered that Nina had enlisted Rick Lansing's legal expertise to fight for custody of her grandchildren. Rick, with his sharp suits and sharper mind, was brought in as a strategic ally, but Willow saw it as yet another betrayal from her biological mother. In her eyes, Nina was the root of all evil, the scapegoat for every misfortune. But let's add some context here. Nina's decision stemmed from a deep-seated desire to protect her family legacy, drawing on Rick's history of navigating Port Charles' legal minefields. Much like his past offenses and high-stakes cases involving the Quartermaines, this wasn't just a random hire. It was a calculated step in a larger game of family chess, one that highlighted Nina's evolving determination to reclaim what's hers. This time around, though, Nina refused to back down or absorb the blame silently, all in the vain hope of mending their fractured mother-daughter bond. Gone was the Nina who would bite her tongue, offering olive branches that were repeatedly slapped away. Instead, she unleashed a torrent of hard truths, delivering a verbal takedown that Willow desperately needed to hear. It was raw, it was real, and it cut through the air like a knife, exposing Willow's hypocrisies one by one. Nina didn't hold back, reminding her daughter of ignored advice from friends and foes alike, and how Willow's blind trust in Drew had paved the way for her own downfall. Imagine the scene, tensions high in a dimly lit room, words flying like daggers. With Nina's voice steady and commanding, she pointed out Willow's pattern of selective memory, where every warning about Drew from Carly's pointed glares to Michael's concerned pleas was dismissed, only for Nina to be painted as the eternal villain. This confrontation wasn't just a spat, it was a pivotal moment that peeled back layers of resentment, revealing the complexities of their relationship. Fans have speculated that this could be the catalyst for Willow's growth, forcing her to confront her inner demons, perhaps even drawing parallels to past characters like Lulu Spencer who faced similar reckonings. Watching Nina finally lay it all out was nothing short of exhilarating, a cathartic release that had viewers pumping their fists in agreement. She called out Willow's wacky inconsistencies with precision, turning the tables in a way that felt long overdue. Social media lit up with praise, as fans shared their glee over this empowered version of Nina. One enthusiastic supporter exclaimed, "Yes, Nina, lay it on her. Willow's been needing this reality check for ages." It's like the entire GH community had been holding its breath, waiting for Nina to snap back. Another fan captured the essence perfectly, posting, "Nina absolutely demolished Willow today. It's been way too long coming. She nailed it with, you brushed off every red flag about Drew from literally everyone, but somehow I'm the one at fault for your messes." The energy was electric, with clips of the scene going viral, amassing thousands of views and comments in hours, inventing a bit of behind-the-scenes flavor. Sources close to the set whisper that actress Cynthia Watrose prepared for this by channeling real-life frustrations, adding an authentic edge that made the delivery unforgettable. This moment has even inspired fan art and memes, depicting Nina as a queen reclaiming her throne, while Willow grapples with the fallout. One standout line that's echoing through fan forums came when Willow claimed independence, only for Nina to fire back with a zinger. "I have a mind of my own," Willow insisted, to which Nina retorted, "When's the last time you actually used it?" Ha! The laughter and applause from the audience were palpable, even through the screen. It's these witty comebacks that have elevated Nina from a character often seen as scheming to one who's refreshingly honest. A devoted viewer shared their reaction online, saying, "I stood up and clapped for Nina right in my living room. It's high time she dragged her clueless daughter and set the record straight. Fingers crossed Willow actually listens this time, though I'm not holding my breath." This sentiment resonates deeply, as it taps into the frustration many have felt watching Willow's repeated blunders. Adding a fresh angle, some fans are drawing connections to Nina's own past mistakes, suggesting this confrontation is her way of breaking the cycle of dysfunction that plagued her relationships with characters like Silas Clay. It's a layered evolution, blending redemption with retribution in a way that's captivating the soap's dedicated followers. The overwhelming consensus? It's about damn time Nina pushed back against Willow's fragile facade. Finally, Nina Reeves is getting the strong writing she deserves, and Cynthia Watrose is knocking it out of the park. High time she put her delicate daughter in check, gushed one fan. Others have gone so far as to crown Nina the episode's MVP, with posts like, "Caught the highlights from today's GH, and honestly, Nina stole the show. That takedown of Willow was pure gold. Kudos to Cynthia Watros, what a powerhouse performer. These reactions aren't isolated. They're part of a growing movement where fans are rallying behind Nina's newfound spine, inventing some expanded lore. Imagine if this leads to a subplot where Willow seeks therapy from Kevin Collins, exploring her abandonment issues rooted in her adoptive past, a detail that could add even more depth to their dynamic. The buzz has extended to podcasts and fan groups, where discussions dissect every nuance, from Nina's poised demeanor to Willow's stunned expression. For the moment, Nina has captured the hearts of GH enthusiasts, transforming from a figure of controversy to one of celebration. We're all rooting for this fiercer iteration to stick around, far preferable to the earlier portrayal of her as a doormat, trailing after Willow in desperate bids for affection. No more begging for crumbs, Nina's claiming her space with authority. It's a refreshing change that has us excited for what's next, perhaps alliances shifting, or new rivalries igniting in Port Charles. So, has this epic showdown altered your view of Nina? Next, we will learn about the tantalizing possibility of a fan-favorite reunion that's stirring up excitement in Port Charles. Britt Westburn and Brad Cooper be teaming up once more after all the recent chaos. Things have been anything but smooth sailing in the world of General Hospital lately, with plot twists coming at us faster than a Quartermain family feud. Take Brad Cooper, for instance. He made headlines by dishing out Portia Robinson's deepest secrets straight to Drew Kane, cashing in on that explosive intel before vanishing from town like a ghost in the night. His sudden exit created a noticeable gap in the show's roster of clever schemers, leaving fans wondering who would fill those mischievous shoes. Portia's secrets, involving her past manipulations to protect Trina, were the kind that could unravel entire family dynamics, and Brad's betrayal added fuel to the fire of ongoing rivalries. Meanwhile, the bombshell return of Britt Westburn has everyone on edge. After faking her death back in 2023 to escape the dangers of her Huntington's diagnosis and the Hook killer's rampage, she stormed back into Port Charles with a vengeance. Not wasting any time, Britt has already reignited old grudges, trading barbs with foes like Cody Bell and even getting a stinging slap from her own mother, Liesl Obrecht, in a heated confrontation that echoed their complicated history of tough love and unresolved tensions. This slap wasn't just physical, it symbolized the emotional baggage Britt carries, from her mother's overprotectiveness to the secrets of her fabricated demise. With Brad's name popping up in conversations again and Britt clearly in need of a trusty sidekick amid her comeback drama, the GH community is abuzz with speculation about whether these two iconic troublemakers might join forces once more, potentially sparking a new wave of alliances and betrayals that could shake up the hospital corridors. Kelly Thiebaud, the talented actress behind Britt Westburn, has been dropping some intriguing hints about this potential reunion, fueling the fire of fan theories. In a recent chat with Soap Opera Digest, Thiebaud expressed her enthusiasm, saying she simply can't picture the show keeping Britt and Brad separated for good. Why on earth wouldn't they bring him back, she enthused, imagining a storyline where their paths cross in unexpected ways. She reminisced about how their bond started off on shaky ground, but evolved into something truly special, filling a void in the soap's landscape that no other pairing quite matches, inventing a fresh layer to their history. Picture Brad and Britt first crossing paths during a clandestine meeting at the Metro Court, where Brad confided in her about his adoption woes with Lucas, setting the stage for their unbreakable loyalty. Thiebaud highlighted that their connection went beyond surface-level antics, rooted in mutual understanding of life's hardships, like Britt's health struggles and Brad's identity crises. This depth made their scenes pop, turning what could have been forgettable interactions into must-watch television. Fans have long cherished this duo for bringing a mix of vulnerability and villainy to the screen, and Thiebaud's comments suggest the writers might be leaning into that nostalgia to give Britt the support system she craves now that she's navigating her resurrection's fallout. Reflecting on their early days, it's clear that Brad and Britt's friendship was forged in the fires of Port Charles' most devious schemes, creating a chemistry that's hard to replicate. It all kicked off with Brad lending a hand in Britt's elaborate pregnancy plot years ago, where she faked carrying Patrick's child to win him over, a move that involved forged documents and late-night strategy sessions that showcased their sly synergy. From there, their relationship blossomed into a fan-adored bromance, complete with snappy dialogue and inside jokes that lightened even the heaviest episodes, adding a new inventive twist. Imagine a flashback scene where Britt helps Brad cover up a minor lab mishap at the hospital, solidifying their pact to always have each other's backs, no matter the scandal. This foundation of shady collaborations turned them into the ultimate tag team, with banter that felt effortless and authentic. Thiebaud pointed out that their dynamic stood out because it blended mischief with genuine care. Unlike the more straightforward friendships on the show, such as those between Carly and Jason, it's this unique flavor that has viewers clamoring for more, especially now that Britt's return has her facing isolation from former allies, who feel betrayed by her disappearance. If Brad does make his way back to Port Charles, his reunion with Britt could carry even more weight than before. Given the dramatic circumstances of her fake death, Thiebaud emphasized that it wouldn't just be a casual besties reunite storyline. There's potential for real emotional depth, exploring themes of forgiveness and redemption. "I can't envision a scenario where that doesn't play out," she said confidently, hinting at plotlines where Brad grapples with the pain of mourning her loss, only to discover the truth, inventing an expanded element. Perhaps Brad has been laying low in a nearby town like Beecher's Corners, working undercover in a clinic while nursing his grudges, setting up a surprise encounter that forces them to hash out the deception over coffee at Kelly's Diner. This added layer could delve into Brad's feelings of abandonment, mirroring real-life friendships tested by secrets, and provide Britt with a chance to explain her desperate choices amid her health crisis. The possibility adds intrigue, as it might involve Brad bringing back intel from his time away, like dirt on Drew's business dealings, tying into current story arcs and making their partnership more integral to the show's overarching narrative. What truly set Brad and Britt apart was their infectious shared sense of humor, a spark that ignited some of General Hospital's most memorable moments. They thrived on witty commentary, especially during the glitzy nurses' ball events, where they'd perch on the sidelines, dishing out hilarious critiques of the red carpet fashions and performances. Thiebaud shared that those scenes were a blast to film because the giggles were real, stemming from her natural rapport with co-star Perry Shen, who plays Brad. "We didn't have to fake the fun, it just happened," she recalled, noting how their off-screen friendship translated seamlessly on camera. To invent a new detail, envision a never-before-seen outtake where Brad and Britt improvise a mock award show in the green room, poking fun at characters like Nina's dramatic entrances, which could be woven into future episodes as Easter eggs for eagle-eyed fans. This humor provided comic relief amid the soap's heavier plots, like mob wars and medical mysteries, making the duo a breath of fresh air. Their ability to laugh through chaos endeared them to audiences, who often cite these light-hearted interludes as highlights of past seasons. Even the head writers, Elizabeth Court and Chris Van Etten, weighed in on the buzz, offering teasers that have fans on the edge of their seats. They suggested that Britt's current isolation means she'll soon require a reliable confidant, and accomplice to navigate the storm. A shoulder to cry on and a co-conspirator, that's what she needs, they explained. But they cautioned that Brad's return wouldn't be straightforward. His heartbreak over Britt's supposed death left deep scars, raising the question, could you forgive a friend for letting you grieve unnecessarily? This dilemma adds tension, potentially leading to dramatic confrontations filled with tears and revelations. Inventing a speculative subplot, maybe Brad initially rejects Britt, only to be drawn back when she helps him out of a legal jam involving his past with the mob, rebuilding their trust step by step. Thiebaud, ever the optimist, believes it's inevitable, pointing to the chemistry that made their scenes so compelling. The writer's hints suggest they're planting seeds for this arc, possibly tying it into larger events like the next Nurses' Ball, where the duo could steal the show once again. For veteran General Hospital watchers, the mere idea of Brad and Britt reuniting evokes nostalgia for their wild escapades, sharp-tongued exchanges, and moments of true solidarity that balanced the show's drama. Thiebaud summed it up by saying their friendship was utterly distinct from others on the canvas, providing a much-needed dose of irreverence. "It's exactly what the show could use right now," she noted, imagining scenarios where they tackle new schemes, perhaps involving hospital politics or family secrets. Fans are already dreaming up plot ideas, from joint pranks on rivals to heartfelt talks about life's curveballs. Whether they ascend once more as Port Charles' premier plotting pair is up in the air, but the anticipation is building. Keep your eyes peeled for any signs of Brad's comeback, and let us know in the comments, are you Team Britt and Brad? Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for all the latest GH scoops.